Hello guys, welcome again to another BTC video. I hope you're doing great today. Excuse my voice, I'm a little bit sick, but I wanted to upload this YouTube video and show you guys where I think BTC is going, what it's gonna do, and my personal opinion on the market, right? With that being said, let's get started with the charts and see what's happening with BTC and where I think it's going. Just a couple of tweets that I have here from back in January and March and February, where I was basically telling people, the pullback is a pullback to buy, not to sell. Bull trap highs haven't been reached yet, and this bear rally is still not over. So take advantage of it. And back in January, February, even back in December, I I kind of had an idea, a prediction that the monthly EMAs, the 1830 EMAs, which is around the 28K area, is going to be revisited, or was going to be revisited, and it did. My prediction played out nicely. Uh, you know, we saw high 30K areas. We reached the monthly EMAs as expected. Here you are. These are the 1830 EMAs, obviously, and back when we were here, these were around this area, so around the 28K area, and now they're around 27.6 area. And one of the main things, I'm going to be speaking first of all macros and then micros. We go to the micros later because the micros are a little bit different right now. But one of the main things is that I want to point out, obviously, is that on the macro, this whole move up till today, up till now, is just looking like a fake out, like a real normal fake out on the EMAs, and they happen constantly. By the way, I'm gonna show you just a couple of examples on the daily. So, for example, this one here, you go up, you cannot hold them as support, and bam, you drop, and it's a fake out, and then you continue the bearish trend. So, my hopes were that this is not a fake out. Unfortunately, it seems like it is. I told this to my Discord members. I told this to Twitter followers as well. The main key thing about this push up is not that we break the EMAs. The main thing is holding them as the retest. On the retest, we need to hold them and bounce. And I spoke about this in my previous YouTube video as well. I said that we need to, break above them, hold them as support here, and then just start moving. We don't need consolidation. We don't need another low coming. We just need moving up, and that will invalidate the bearish trend. Unfortunately, that was not the case, and we went above them and we failed to hold them as support, and we closed the first monthly candle. I would say this monthly candle is a proper close below the monthly EMAs. I believe they should be revisited once more, or maybe twice more, just to hit them as reject on them, and they're gonna keep pushing us down all the way down to the lower end of the trend line here, to the parallel channel, which is around the 20K area. Now, there's good news and there's bad news, obviously. So I think the destination over the next couple of months should be here. We talked about this in the previous YouTube videos. We said that we have 3 levels to be watching out for, and we said that this might be a wave one, an impulsive wave one, and this could be followed by a wave two. And I said that I believe this is a wave two. Now, like I said, the problem with wave twos is very simple. They retrace either 50% up all the way to 90%, so 99%. And if that were the case, if we retrace only the 50%, we're retraced, to the bottom of this parallel channel, which is the trend line, basically our support area, which is around 20K. The problem arises is when and if they retrace more than that. So let's say they retrace towards this area, which is the 90% mark, which is a 16K again. Now, to the naked eye, it could be a 1-2, and we're good to go. But when we're here, where we're under the trend line, no matter what anyone says, it is a dangerous area. It is a support area that should not be lost. Now, granted, we've lost it here a couple of times, but I'm not sure. Let's see here. You see, we did lose it here a couple of times, but when we lost it with consolidation. Like, we didn't lose it with lower lows coming. So we lost it with consolidation. So that's why when I talked in my previous YouTube video about this. I said, the bulls are still in the game on the macro, no matter what anyone says, because this could be a one and this could be a two, and even this retracement, even if it's a two retracement, the bulls are still in the game. Even if we bounce at 25 or at 23 or at 22 or even at 16, all of these levels are bullish levels on the macro. The problem will arise if we lose 16K. We get a monthly close under 16K or under the low, basically. I would dare say 16.5, a monthly close under 16.5, and that's where the problem starts to arise. If we do a lower low, if we get a new low, if Bitcoin hits 14 or whatever, that's just more validation that this is just another low coming here somewhere. And I think I know where the low could end up being. If we were to go that low, it probably will bounce somewhere around this trend line. And I spoke about this in my previous YouTube videos as well. I said, like, when I give you guys data information, I don't really update too much because my data is just repetitive. I'm always on the same point, on the same idea until it gets invalidated. There's no point in sharing hopium or talking like at the moon, Carl. Oh, Bitcoin to the moon, like 2% move up, 2% down. It's just worthless information. Yeah, you get more viewers from it, but I'm not the guy who's interested in that. I'm more interested in feeding you information and with regards to the market, serious, honest information. So on the macro, nothing has changed. I think we're still in a correction. Let me just check here the weekly timer. I still think we are in a correction. Hopefully, this correction, like as I said, it doesn't take us sub this 23.8K area. But if it does, you know where we're probably heading, which is this region right here. Um, Everything is pointing out that we are still in a correction. There's no signs of this correction being over yet. There is obviously good news about this correction, and there's a bad news as we talked about them in last video. But I want to add a little bit more information to that. So the good news up till now is that the weekly EMAs still haven't crossed bearish, and till that happens on the mid macro means next couple of months, let's say a month or two from now. On the mid macro, we're still in the game for 40K till these cross bearish, similar to what happened here. I will show you. So as long as these don't cross bearish, you still can expect something very similar to this pattern happening here, where everybody probably expecting the lows to be swept, which they should have, by the way, unless there's not a lot of stop losses under that area. Then it's logical why the market makers are not pushing the price down even further. But again, if these don't cross bearish, we are still within the realms of this being, or with 40K being reached. Once they cross bearish, it's just I'm probably saying it's game over for 40K. As of now, it's looking as a game over for 40K. Like, we got a rejection on the heartline of the channel. We got a fake out on the monthly EMAs. We closed the first month below it. If we close this month below it as well, a bad close, this stochastic RSI will probably cross under 80, and this just probably signals another visit of the lows of the stochastic, which probably means that we're gonna probably visit the lows again here between 20 and 16K, depending. So this month is going to be very, very important. Consolidation is probably good for us, but it's not the best of choices here, because the market is being very, very tricky, very, very weird about consolidation. I'm gonna talk about that on the micro time frames when we get there. So yeah, on a macro perspective, let's just summarize. The bulls are still in the game on the macro unless 16 is lost. All right. My projection is that we are still in a correction, and most likely we will be visiting the bottom of the trend line here. All right. Hopefully holding it as support and not breaking it, which is probably around 21, 20K area. If we do break it and we visit the lows around 16, we gotta be very, very careful this time around. It could be the buy of your lifetime, or it could be the worst thing ever if you bought there. All right. So this is one thing to point out, obviously. And obviously, on the mid macro, we are still in the game for 40K till these close. If these cross bearish and they close on each other, I don't think 40K is happening, even though from a technical perspective, everything seems and looks like, you know, we are in a bearish downtrend. Everything is pointing that we're still in now. We could get a triple top, by the way. Top two and three. We could do that. We could get a lower low. And most likely, if there's going to be a short squeeze, it's probably gonna form some type of pattern formation, either a lower low towards high 28K areas, which is around this trend line right here, this yellow trend line, or probably triple top. And the triple top will probably be very, very convincing, and it will probably trap a lot of bulls also in it. So you probably start longing at the top, and then the market crashes after. We'll have to wait and see. On the micro now, the things that are so the macro, my perspective already, still in a correction. I still believe we should revisit this area right here. Obviously, there will be short squeezes and long squeezes. As long as these weekly EMAs don't cross bearish, we are still in the game till 40K. Once they cross, then the likelihood of this happening, us visiting this area here, is just increases exponentially. All right, it increases like to beyond exponentially. Now on the micro is where it gets interesting. The micro has been very, 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 very interesting this couple of months or weeks, if you want to say. Uh, it's not the first time I've seen this pattern that you're seeing here. I think I've seen it somewhere before. Here as well. There's one, there's two, very, very similar to each other. I think they're gonna play out very similarly as well. By the way. All right. So where do we talk about this? The market is acting extremely weird, and I think it's because traders are getting better and better at finding out these setups, these trades. So the market is, throwing now. This is a desperation, act of desperation, by the way. I mean, look at this. It's just consolidate, 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 squeeze, squeeze, consolidate, 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 squeeze, squeeze, consolidate. So it's very, very weird. It's a pattern of consolidation that is followed by a squeeze. Whether the squeeze is up first, as you can see here, we had a first, we were consolidating, we had a long squeeze, then a short squeeze, then a small long squeeze, then a short squeeze, then a long squeeze, then a small short squeeze, then a long squeeze again. Uh, Granted, I mean, the reason being is that 50x leverage traders or 15x or whatever, they want to enter early, they don't have patience, whatever. They put their trade like this, let's say, and they minimize their stop. Okay, if it breaks this area here, these wicks right here, it's probably going down to whatever, and then stop losses get hit continuously. The long is a little bit different, because for a long perspective, if you're for the short, I mean, is a little bit different, because if you were in a short area, you probably do this, and seeing this is your highest high here. Well, you have two choices, obviously. It's this or this. And when the choice was this liquidation came, because there was no point of reference here for traders, obviously. Maybe it was this one, but maybe not a lot of traders saw it. And then when this was the point of reference, traders did this, and then this came. As you can see, stopped them out. And the same idea with that one. So when that long was happening, and I saw a lot of traders out there. One of them, probably called Muro, I think, as well. He posted something there. He said that this is a longing area, and he wants to long at 27. And obviously, if you want to long at 27, you're probably going to put a stop loss below 26.8, which is the previous high, and then this happens. So this is what's happening. This is what's happening right now, especially when there's no levels of, when there's no level. Now, my way of trading is a little bit different than others. I can I like to use trend lines mostly. I will combine them with supply zones in order to determine areas of entry and exit. But mostly it's the case where I use support, support trend line, resistance trend line, so on and so forth. Now let's get back to the patterns. I don't want to get off topic too much. So these patterns are problematic, right? We're having this happening continuously, regardless. And you can see it's very, very ugly. Now, for me personally, I think there's going to be a hell of a short squeeze coming. All right. I'm gonna I'm gonna say it here on the record. I think there's gonna be a hell of a short squeeze coming. Probably following this pattern right here. Um, that one, as you can see. All right. This one right here is very, very similar to this one right here. So you see here, chip chop, and squeeze, squeeze, and then chip chop, and then most likely a squeeze followed by that. And that would perfectly fit the indicators and the market as well. Perfect. It fits amazingly perfect. Now, there is another one that looks also very similar to where we're to this one, which is I'm not gonna say similar as in exactly because it's not. I'd be lying to you to say if it is. By the way, uh, there's this one here, but this one is very different than that one. All right, we don't have as much. This one here is perfect. The consolidation here was perfect, and I remember it because the market was very very boring and very very sideways. And there's one more which is around here, I think. But again, this is not exactly the same. But it's following kind of a similar pattern: consolidation, squeeze, lower squeeze, and then bam. So I personally think this is going to be the case on the micro. I think we should have one more a long squeeze because I know a lot of people are probably longing here. Like I want a long here as well. When I have the itch too long, it means that most likely my ideas are probably going to come true. My predictions are probably going to come true, or a short, depending obviously. So I have an itch too long, and obviously, if I want it long and I don't want to miss the move, I'll probably do this, right? Whatever, this and this, right? Something along those lines, and that's why I and other traders believe that there should be a sweep coming. There should be, uh, a sweep of these lows to come. And when and if they come, they're probably gonna head. I mean, it could be a very weak sweep, 24-8, and then super bounce. And it could be a slightly stronger sweep, so towards 24-2, and then bounce. All right? 24-2, 23-8, and then bounce. It's very, very hard to say because of the market conditions. But if I'm just looking at my indicators as they are right now, I think, there will be a long squeeze, a short squeeze, a hell of a short squeeze. But it's just that I cannot specify really from where it will come, from what level it will come. It could come from low 25, or it could come from low 24s. It's as simple as that. And that is my BTC outlook from now. From a micro perspective, I mean, I still think we are in a downtrend, but I think we will have some long and then short squeeze, probably towards the high areas here, to try to liquidate as many people as possible. Because obviously now, if you're on a short, you're probably this is your resistance area. So we will see. We will see as the market plays out. On the micro perspective, this is what I'm expecting: short squeezes and long squeezes. On a macro perspective, I still think the downtrend is not over. I think we still have at least a couple of weeks here. 2, 3. Oh, sorry, 4 weeks probably. End of the September, and then we'll probably, hopefully, bottom out, and we'll have a couple of bullish months before having a super bearish month at the end of the year. And that is it for my BTC update, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Like, share, and subscribe. It means a lot to the channel. Follow me on Twitter. Link in the description below. If you want to inquire about my private Discord that has copy trading and signals and futures signals and spot signals and a lot of things that are nice for everybody, you can inquire it via Telegram. I'm also having a very, very good promotion with regards to learning how to trade. If you are interested in that, follow my Twitter post and join the Telegram group where I'll post a lot of information about how you can try to escape your 9 to 5 job by, learning the basics of trading. Thank you again, guys, for being here. I appreciate you all, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.